Welcome back, guys. Episode 4 of the You Should Stop Sucking or Suck Less at Weightlifting or whatever Jake, our fantastic editor, has named this series that I can't keep up with. Hey, as with any good YouTube video, it's important that we start with an intro. And my intro is congrats on that recent PR. You know, you watched the videos, you sucked less at weightlifting, you got a PR. Do I take credit for it? I don't know. Do you want to give me credit for it? Do I deserve it? Yes. Are you going to give me the credit that I deserve? Maybe not. That's up to you, and you have to live with that decision. Today's episode is all about growing as a weightlifter. So preparing to actually compete. You know, I get a lot of questions from young weightlifters or weightlifters who are trying to get into the sport on a serious basis for the first time. And the most common questions that I get, there's 2 of them. What weight class should I compete in? And when should I compete? So common question, are you ready to compete? What weight class is going to be best for you? And what meet should I do? We're going to answer all 3 of those questions today. All right, first thing first, we have to decide, are you even ready for competition based on skill level? So some reasons to compete and how to plan for that first competition. First thing I want to say is look at this background photo taken by our video editor, Jake. What a great picture. Shot well. Also, this girl, I don't know who this girl was that was lifting right here. Absolute monster. Absolute freak. Just in a league of her own. So if you're watching this video, you're not. I know you're not. Don't know who you are. Don't know what your name is, but good lifting. All right, back to it. If you are a beginner, and if we think back to our previous slides, you know, what actually is a beginner? It's probably someone in that 0 month to 6 month, maybe 0 month up to 12 month range of lifting. What is going to be the main reason that an individual in this category should compete? Straight up, unequivocally, it is for fun. You are competing for fun, especially if it's your first competition. A way to have a really bad time at your first competition and sour the experience overall is to take it way too serious, set way too high of goals for yourself. Your competition planning should be simple. You want to choose conservative weights, go 6 for 6, a perfect day, make all your snatches, all your clean and jerks, leave for the day feeling good about what you just did. The worst thing you can do is be overly aggressive, overly serious for the competition. Choose weights that are maybe a little bit out of your range. You're not anticipating the nerves that you're going to feel on game day. Maybe you go 0 for 3 on snatch, you bomb out on snatch. That's just not a good time. That's not a fun first competition experience. So be conservative. What does conservative look like? I think it was Max Ada who said, you know, your opening attempts should be something that you can roll out of bed. I actually think it might have been Sean Waxman. I don't remember. It was somebody said it should be a weight that you should be able to hit in your living room if you wake up cold. And you just wake up, roll out of bed, head to your living room. There's 100 kilos loaded in your living room or whatever. You could make that. It's a little bit of a dramatization there, but it should illustrate the point that your opening attempts should be comically easy. If we're looking for a percentage, I would say somewhere around 85 to 88% is a good opening weight for your first ever competition. Those numbers will scale up as you get more competitive, as you get more experience, but start nice and low. Speaking of scaling up in experience, we can move on to the intermediate group now. Again, probably somewhere around that 1 year of training experience up to 2 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. Some people move through these phases at a different pace than others. Your reason to compete as an intermediate is going to be, again, for fun. You can continue to compete for fun for your entire career. Competing should be fun for your entire career. But another reason to compete is to gauge your current competitive total against others that are competing at the level you would like to pursue. So if you are an intermediate who said, you know what, I'm tired of the local meets, they're fun, but I want to go a little bit heavier, a little bit harder on the competition side. I want to try for the American Open Series or the American Open Finals. And we'll look at what those numbers actually are here later on in the presentation. But you should gauge your competitive total, you know, based on what you need to be where you need to be in terms of a total to qualify for these meets. If you want to be competitive against others, you should look at local meet totals for someone in your weight class. Let's say you are a 96 kilo male and you're watching this. You should gauge how competitive you are based on results from other competitions near you from the 96 kilo male class. Competition planning for an intermediate. Again, you want to go conservative on your openers and second attempts, and then you can test something close to a 1RM on your third attempt. Again, the goal here is always to go 6 for 6 if you are a beginner or an intermediate. I can accept missed attempts when you get closer to the advanced stage because you're trying to put higher and higher numbers on the platform, higher margin for error. There are going to be missed attempts. So what does that look like from a numbers perspective? For the beginner, they might open at 85%. An intermediate, probably safe to open in the 88 to 91% of your 1RM or your training max on competition day. Again, that's a very, very conservative number that you should be able to hit 9 times out of 10. If you miss it, repeat it. Don't go up. Just put the number on the board. Put the number on the board for your first or second attempt. Go from there. When you get to your second attempt, I can accept something in the 93, maybe up to 96% range. If you are dealing with someone who is coming off a long period of training where they've made a lot of progress, you can kind of push these numbers higher because their competition max, their true max might be a little bit higher than anything you've tested recently. So, you know, that 93, 94, maybe up to like 96% range is something that I can get down with for a second attempt. On your third attempt, you know, you want to look at what is the total that I actually need. Do I need to ball out and go hard on this third attempt to hit those numbers that I need? If you've already secured the total that you need for that next competition on your second attempt, feel free to go balls out, you know, BDE on that third attempt and really send it. 100%, 101%. You want to go for a PR, I'm all for it. Go get it. Don't do anything insane. Don't go for some like 5 kilo PR unless it's really there on that day. It rarely is. Your best lifts will most likely be in training. Now for the advanced individual, your reason to compete, again, I'm going to reiterate it. It should still be fun. So compete for fun. But when you reach that level, things are a little bit more serious. So you want to qualify or post a total at a national level meet or higher. So you want to kind of scale yourself up. You've left the American Open series and local meets behind. Now we're looking at AO finals. We're looking at USAW nationals and possibly qualifying for an international level meet. Things like Pan American Games, World Championships, things like that. Your competition planning is going to be high level strategy. So what are we actually looking for at these high competitions? The strategy doesn't matter too much if you're looking for a qualifying total. There's a specific number that you need to hit. You and your coach had a conversation beforehand. Here are the numbers that we're going to get. Here's how we're going to build our total up to that very specific number that we need. If you are at an international or a national level meet and the goal or the outcome that you are looking for is that you want to medal at Worlds or you want to win a national championship, then we get into the strategy of it of how do I need to position myself based on the other lifters so that I can finish the day with the highest total. We're not looking for any specific number total. We're not going into it and saying, you know, I have to hit a 305 kilo total on the dot. We're just saying that to medal or to win gold or to be the national champion or world champion, I need to hit a number in my total that is higher than everybody else. And I need to strategize to make that happen. So 2 different competitive planning strategies based on that advanced level. Are we competing, you know, internationally, or are we just trying to win or qualify for something else? Our next most popular question is, of course, what weight class should I be in? Listed here are the IWF and Olympic categories for weight classes. You know, you can take this for what it is. I'm sure that maybe they've even changed it since I posted this here. You know, I tried to look at the most recent USAW posting. These numbers, you know, I think these are the most recent ones. Someone's going to comment like, these aren't the most recent weight classes. Please edit the video and make sure that it is amended. If they're not the most recent, I think they are. My bad. But here are the categories. So at your local and national level meets within the US, you are going to see those IWF categories being the listed ones. When you move from the, local, national, international, up to the Olympics, you'll only see those Olympic weight categories there. But that doesn't make sense. Why would there be a jump from 81 kilos to 96 kilos for men? Because it's fucking chaos. It's absolutely chaos. The IWF, the IOC doesn't know what they're doing. That's my hot take. All right. If you are a beginner or an intermediate, you want to compete at what you walk around at. Don't cut weight. There's no benefit to cutting weight if you are doing a local meet or, the AO series. As soon as you make your way to a national level meet, I can accept that you would like to cut weight to be in a more competitive weight class for you. Outside of that, don't cut weight. Jesus, the only possible outcome from a local level meet is that you are going to get a very small plastic medal that says, like, it's scribbled on the back in fucking crayon that says you won the, Small Joe's Gym Classic. Trust me, it's not worth it. Don't cut weight. Just compete at what you train at, where you feel good, so you're not running into any issues on game day. Now, as you leave those beginner and intermediate ranks and you want to compete at a higher level, now we can get into the strategy of actually cutting weight and getting to a competitive weight class for you and your numbers. Most people are going to walk around 5 to 10% over their competition body weight, which is a pretty big range. A higher percentage away from competition weight is going to increase the risk for adverse effects on competition day. Something goes weird where you get a stomach bug, or ladies, you get your cycle and, weigh-ins are really thrown off. The higher you were away from your competition body weight at 8-10 weeks out from competition is going to increase that margin of error on game day. So remember that body fat up to a certain point doesn't really benefit your performance on the platform. So you should implement with your coach, your nutrition coach, whoever it is, some sort of fat loss program, not a severe deficit, one that doesn't cut into your training, that allows you to position yourself 2 to 3% or right on weight by the time competition day comes. When you are cutting, you are either losing from fat, from water. 10 to 12 weeks out, we can lose body fat. 48 hours, the only real thing that we can manipulate is water. Showing up on the platform extremely dehydrated because of the 1 hour weigh-in system that weightlifting uses is not going to be beneficial. So if you wake up on game day and you still need to cut water, it better be a very small amount. If you wake up 3, 4, 5 pounds over, you've got a very, very hard day in front of you. Can it be done? Yes. Is it done at the highest level? Absolutely. But every single World Weightlifting Championships, you will see one lifter get up on the platform. They look like they are drunk. They look like they are just completely lost. They don't know where they are. And that is the sign of a bad water cut or too severe of a water cut. So get yourself close to competition weight by losing body fat. Make the final tweaks with water weight. If you want to learn more about this, we're going to link the video right up above. It is nutritional considerations for barbell sports. I have a full video about weightlifting. Make sure you watch that for a more in-depth look at cutting weight. Now, going up or down a weight class this is another one that people are very concerned about. They spend a lot of time thinking about. When is it the right time to go up or down a weight class? So when you are a beginner or an intermediate, there's a very good chance that over the course of your training career, you are going to gain muscle mass. You are going to gain weight. This is a good thing as a natural byproduct of training lifting weights. In that scenario, you are going to want to go up a weight class. Do not, if you are early in your weightlifting career or you are a very young lifter, concern yourself with keeping your body weight low. You're potentially curtailing future muscle gains that are going to make you a stronger and better lifter. Beginner, intermediate, eat sufficient amounts of food, gain some muscle, grow over those first couple years. When you're advanced, then we can start to talk about, should we move down a weight class to be more competitive? So beginner, intermediate, you would want to go up in weight class. Advanced, you want to have a conversation with your coach about, will it be beneficial for me to go down a weight class? Now, as you can see at the Olympic level, it's pretty hard to go down a weight class. So imagine you are a 76 kilo women's Olympic weightlifter, at the Olympic level, I should say, and you think that you'll be more competitive as a 64 kilo as opposed to 76. That is 12 kilos. Well over 25 pounds that you are going to have to lose. Do you have 25 pounds of body fat to lose? Do you have 22 pounds of body fat to lose, and then you can do the last 3 from a water cut? Is that even a good idea? How much is that going to cut into your training, your recovery capacity? Are you better suited to just continue to live within that 76 kilo range? The answer is probably yes. And that's one of the big problems I have with these Olympic weight changes, is that the ranges are so large. You're really locking lifters into a weight class where if there was an intermediate like the 71 kilo for the Olympic classes, you could better position yourself there. But understandably, the Olympics, the IOC has reduced the number of total weight classes. So you got to live with it. All right, your frequency of competition. This is our third question here. How often should I compete? Well, number one, are you competing solely for fun? If so, 100% compete as often as you would like, as often as your training schedule, your work schedule, and your budget allows. Make new friends, enjoy the day, and be merry. I have no problem with people who are purely in this because they love just getting on the platform and what the competition brings, competing as often as they would like. Absolutely, 100%, just go for it. Now, if you are, sort of in it for fun, but you also aspire to compete at the highest level, understand that your improvements in technique, your improvements in your overall ability to move the maximum amount of weight possible, absolute strength, technique, power, speed, muscular hypertrophy, all those things that underpin your performance, but all the way back from lecture 1, are going to be made away from the platform. You do not want to be that guy who never improves, that guy or gal that never improves. Meet 1, you go 100, 130. Meet 2, you go 98, 132. Meet 3, you go 101, 125. It's really your total is just staying the exact same. If you want to compete at the highest level, you need to take time away from the platform, address your technical issues, do a needs analysis with your coach. Where are you currently lacking? What is the time course to make those improvements? Let's train for that period of time and not compete and interrupt that. You could make an argument that, if you want to compete more, you can just train straight through. I don't like that argument. Competition day and what leads up to it is usually a very stressful week, culminating with a very stressful day that takes away from the training cycle as a whole. So how long do I need to spend away from the platform? As long as it takes. If you are trying to go from the American Open Series to the American Open Finals, which is a big jump in the total that you must post, you need to train for as long as it takes to post that total. If you need a 275 kilo total, and you just hit a 265 kilo total in training, and you're like, all right, it's time for me to compete, fucking why? Why would you do? You're still 10 kilos away. Most lifters post a total that is lower than their best training total when they actually get on the platform. You need to train until you have a training total that is what you need, or preferably higher than you need. So the example I gave is if you need a 270 kilo total to qualify for the American Open Finals, that's your current goal. You should train until you have a 275 kilo or even higher total in training. Give yourself some margin for error on competition day. Now, there are still alternative reasons for competing that I can entertain. Learn to be a gamer. So what does it mean to be a gamer? Some individuals, they ball out in practice, training. get on the competition field and they completely crap the bed. So if you want to learn to be a gamer, perform better in competition, the only way to do that is to expose yourself to competition. You can make the argument that, maybe your coach could do some mock meets in the gym. Fine. I don't think that anything really imitates the feeling of doing that competition. Judges that you're not familiar with, a crowd in front of you, a bar, equipment, a gym, platform, all of this stuff that you're not 100% familiar with, nothing really imitates that when compared to actual competition. Some individuals, they've been training for 2 years to improve. They just want to knock the rust off, get a competition in, feel that, and then get back to training. That's fine. And, just being less of a nervous individual when you compete. More exposures to competition, likely less game day anxiety that you're going to feel. All right, now your career, that's a tongue twister right there. Say that one 10 times fast. Career trajectory. Going from local to international or to national, all the way up to national level meets. Now, as a beginner in year one, probably knock out one competition. Maybe. It's probably best served if you've got long-term goals to not even compete in year one. Spend that entire year just training straight through and getting better. The reason that you might compete is, obviously it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun experience for you, and learn what a competition day looks and feels like. I guarantee you can do 100 mock meets in the gym. It's not going to feel like competition day actually does. Go 6 for 6. No YOLO shit. Just get out there, hit some lifts that you know that you can make. Go from there. Intermediate or year 2 of training. 1 to 2 competitions if you are ready to move from local to semi-national level, so American Open Series level meets. However, there's no shame in taking extended time off to get better. You come out in year 1, you post a total that's 100 kilos less than what you need for the American Open Finals. I mean, maybe you became the greatest lifter of all time and made exponential progress, but I don't think you're going to make up those 100 kilos in a year. So if you need more time off to get better, just improve your lifting as a whole, do it. Take that time off, improve your technique so that when you show up on the platform again, it's worth it and you qualify for that meet that you're looking for. Now, our advanced level lifters, they need to compete as often as their schedule demands. So national, international level lifters may have to compete 4 or more times each year. I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that is the current IWF requirement, that Olympic level weightlifters must compete 4 times within a quad. It might be 3. There are certain meets that you have to do, and it's either 3 or 4 that you have to do per year. Now, can you take time off if you are an Olympic level lifter? Unless you want to be ruled out for that quadrennial cycle, and miss the Olympics for that 4 years, you cannot. However, if you are below the level of an international lifter, maybe you just want to qualify for nationals, USAW nationals, maybe you want to qualify for trying to get on the Pan American team, you don't have to compete that many times if you are at that national level. I believe the Pan American, you still have to have the certain amount. And again, there's no time or there's no shame in taking time off to go from competing at nationals to contending for the podium. Plenty of people qualify for the American Open Finals and USAW Nationals each year, and they don't even sniff the podium. So if you want to take some time off to really make a run at the podium, that's a good idea. Again, remember, improvements are made away from the platform. Now, to give you guys an understanding of what that competition progression looks like, you would go from a local to what I've called a semi-national level meet, American Open Series, to a national level. I threw AO Finals. I'm sure something like, well, AO Finals isn't technically a national level meet. Yeah, eat my butt. AO Finals I put in with the national level meets up to USAW Nats as well. International meets like Pan Am's, world level would be like Olympics or the World Weightlifting Championships. Now, I took a 96 kilo senior male, because that is myself, and we're going to look at the qualifying totals and how competitive that can actually be. So to compete at a local level meet, you don't need any total. You can have a 1 kilo total if you want. You can have a 0 kilo total. You don't need a total because you don't even have to have competed before. At the American Open Series, you need a 221 kilo total to qualify as a 96 kilo male to get to the AO Series. Now, the winner of the AO Series will be posting a total much, much higher than 221 kilos. But 221 is what gets you there. Now, to get to American Open Finals or USAW Nats, you need a 291 total or a 303 respectively. So you can see a 70 kilo jump to get to the American Open Finals. And what is that? An 82 kilo jump to get to USAW Nats. So these are large, large improvements in your lifts that you need to take to that next level, which is why I say there's no shame in taking extended time off. Now, when we go to the international level, I took the Pan American gold medal here. It was 388 kilos, so 85 kilos over what we saw as a USAW Nats qualifying total. And then when we get up to the world level and Olympics, I took the gold medal from the Olympics last year, which was 402 kilos. So again, another 14 kilo jump. So just look at the difference between the AO Series and what gets you an Olympic gold medal. The chasm is massive. The difference is made up largely by training age, and of course, a little bit of genetics there as well. You don't simply stumble upon a 402 kilo total as a 96 kilo lifter. So that's going to wrap up video 4 in our Intro to Weightlifting, Suck Less at Weightlifting series. Again, Jake, thank you for naming this so aptly, just for me to forget what it's actually called. That's what I'm here for, guys. I'm here to forget things. We will see you on that next video, number 5. It will be the second to last video in the series. So if you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying. I hope this information is resonating and helping you become a better weightlifter. Again, tag me in your PRs. Do I take full credit? Yes, I do. We'll see you on the next one. In the meantime, in between times, and as always, stay gifted.